Welcome to your weekday Cup of the Word. We're in Acts 18. We're going to look at Corinth. We're going to stop for a quick stop at Ephesus, and we're going to look and meet a man by the name of Apollos. In the city of Corinth, Paul is going to be making tents there with a couple named Priscilla and Aquila as he waits for Timothy and Silas to come back from Thessalonica and Berea. In verse 5, when those two men get back, that's when Paul's going to write the 1st and 2nd Thessalonian letter. As we look at the details of those letters, turns out that young congregation in Thessalonica that Paul had to leave, turns out they were standing strong and firm in the gospel. They had some questions, they had some problems, but they were faithful, and that's the key. Also, we're going to see that Paul's going to stay in Corinth for a year and a half and do a lot of great preaching there in that city. The same city he'll eventually write 1st and 2nd Corinthians to. He's going to make a lot of converts there. And one particular convert's going to cause him a lot of trouble. See, the ruler of the synagogue, the most influential Jew in the entire city of Corinth, is going to obey the gospel. That is a great and exciting thing. But it also had a downside to it. When the Jews found out that their ruler of their synagogue had been converted and that Paul was preaching next door, well, they didn't take very kindly to it. And they really put a lot of pressure on Paul to leave. Paul feared for his life, and God gave him comfort, saying, "Don't worry, Paul. There's a lot of good left to be done in this city." He's going to stay there a year and a half, do a lot of preaching, and eventually Paul's going to leave there, and he's going to travel to Ephesus, stop very quickly, tell them, "I'll be back eventually," which he will be, to spend a lot more time there, and he's going to leave Ephesus and go back to his home congregation, Antioch, to tell them all the good things that have happened. And then at the very end of this chapter, we're going to read about a man by the name of Apollos, a man who was eloquent, powerful in the Scriptures, and Priscilla and Aquila, they're going to teach him the last bit of details that he needed in order to become a Christian. He's going to go on to do a lot of great preaching, and he's actually going to end up going over to Achaia, where Corinth is. And he's going to do a lot of preaching there and make a lot of impact on the church in Corinth. And with that, we close out chapter 18, and that's your Daily Cup.